Was it nice? Hey.
The graduation was a weird one. Like it was like
Why was
very, very pro.
Sure. Is it on your desk?
Palestinian, like they have a big Somalian faction there, and I would have never thought a very Muslim group. But my day, it was 3.5 hours long.
Wow.
They sold concessions, so we had popcorn, nachos.
Oh my God.
It's like
3.5 hours?
And it's
Well, it's
only,
a huge school.
but they broke it up, so it was only like 1,200 kids.
Huh.
Maybe 1,500 tops. I'm like, LT would get this done in
I
an
was
hour
just
and a
gonna
half.
say, LT can do 1,000, and they are efficient.
Yes, I
LT,
love
like,
LT.
Yeah, they're really good at it. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Jeff.
Hello.
Yeah.
My daughter's,
Yeah.
one of my daughter's graduation speakers was Bill Cosby.
No kidding.
So I think,
Before he,
so her degree, before,
so.
he's a
but so I
big
don't,
guy, you know?
I think the degree's been canceled. Not that I'm aware of.
I could
I
see
didn't
myself.
get it, I don't think. Unless it just came.
No, starts to land.
Is it? Oh, on Friday?
So they,
I didn't
yeah,
see
I'm
that.
like, and that's where I was just wanting to be at that. I'm like, do both. Like, and if you're gonna choose one, that's not the one you choose. But they had a couple of those things that it was just an odd. But I think when these Somali women come from this area that never got educated
Oh,
before they
I see.
read
I
off the
missed
name.
that. Thank you.
Like air horns, not just like one or two, but like 7.
Wow.
Like the whole charter.
Yeah.
But now I got resentful because it took
in an
longer.
arena.
All right, thank you.
Where they play basketball.
Okay.
So yeah, first I'm like, oh, they shouldn't have this outside. It was a beautiful day. But it would have been hot.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Oh, the catcher?
Okay. How about I pitch it out to you? Yeah, this seems like a real proposal. Okay. Yeah.
How many cicadas are tagging your house right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm
Okay.
You know, I think the
I'm kind of
grounds.
excited. I'm like, why not?
Oh yeah, I think the ground's a little cooler in the backyard. Shade trees.
Yeah.
It's a little-
For
None in the
you,
back.
I'd
Not so much,
consider
it's more sunny there everywhere.
Yeah.
The squirrels are feasting.
June
Okay.
28th. Yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah,
All of our trees in the parkway
thank
are new since the last time they came.
No,
So I was
I mean,
just
a little, but
Right, you know,
and they are.
just like a
yeah,
Vermont,
they're there. Like they want.
not being on a schedule.
They're supposed to be living on these trees.
What number my friends are?
And the tree's been replaced. Like, how'd they get it? How'd they find it?
Yeah,
Go chomping.
yeah.
We need more people. Let's see.
Seems like all those, so yeah,
Phil's
not right
there.
now, right?
We need aim.
Okay.
We have our village manager.
Okay.
I don't know anything about that.
No, Phil's
Phil's
here.
right here.
I'm present.
And a calendar.
I'm present.
Just taking a
So
shot.
wait, can
Yeah, she's good. Thank you for asking.
okay.
She had.
Okay. We're gonna start.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
We're getting good at it.
All right, good evening. Welcome to the May 20th meeting of the Village of Western Springs Village Board of Trustees to honor our nation's heroes and especially to honor the individuals who serve and protect our community. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you very much. Deputy Clerk Hatsky, may we have the roll call, please?
Yes, President Rudolph. Trustee Avakian is absent. Trustee Chen is absent. Trustee Fink.
Here.
Trustee Lewis.
Here.
Trustee Naraki.
Here.
Trustee Terrell.
Here.
All right, moving on in our agenda, we will begin with citizen comments. Yeah, can you come to the podium, please, and just give us your name?
The microphone is on. It's on already.
Do I gotta hold it, or are we good?
Nope, you hold it up, but just don't touch the button, that's all.
Okay, all right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Jimmy St. Paul. I'm here to speak about resolution number 24-2809, a little bit more colloquially, the 2024 flooring replacement bid. I believe it's set to be approved tonight, and the recommended contractor is DeSitter Flooring. I sent a letter to the board kind of late in the afternoon on Friday, and I'm just going to read it from it a little bit for a moment, and then give it, tell you folks a little bit more succinctly what it's about with less jargon. All right. So DeSitter Flooring came in as the low bid by a large margin out of a total of 5 contractors who turned in bids. 32% lower than the next lowest commercial carpet consultants. You will also notice the commercial carpet consultants, NPM and Johnson Flooring, were within $1,000 of each other. It is my professional opinion that the reason DeSitter Flooring could produce such an outlier of a low bid is they intend to violate the Prevailing Wage Act and pay their employees less than the prevailing wage, undercutting their businesses operating in accordance with the law. You will notice in the attached violation, the Department of Labor issued against DeSitter in 2022, proving their recent business practices. I call into question the appropriateness of allowing this contractor into your facilities and further question the quality of work and morality of such a business. It is my recommendation that DeSitter's bid be thrown out and barred, and furthermore be barred from performing work of any kind in the future. All right, so that ends me reading from the letter. So somewhat in more layman's terms, this company that's slated to be approved to do work with your folks' tax dollars in this municipality here, they've been found guilty and fined for committing wage fraud, stealing workers' wages, and I am imploring the board here to now allow them to the opportunity to do it again in your folks' facilities. That's all.
Thank you. Attorney Jurusik, comments on that?
Yeah, Mr. St. Paul, thank you for your comments and thank you for bringing this to our attention. All I would say is DeSitter was the low bidder through the village's procurement process, and we have to honor that. It would be unfair to the process and to any other bidder not to honor the low bid when we've followed the procurement process. Also, the village is not able to bar a bidder from bidding on future contracts. What I would say is, if the board decides to approve that contract tonight, this is brought to your attention, and the village will, make sure that the prevailing wage is complied with, and if it's not, then, appropriate sanctions will be, levied by the Department of Labor. But yeah, it's, we're not in a position to disqualify them based on the information you brought forward to us, because they did comply and they were the low bidder through our procurement process.
Okay.
So how, do we have to follow the prevailing wage, though? How do we know if that happens?
That's on them to
Gotcha.
comply with prevailing wage, and they have to report that to the state. And as Mr. St. Paul indicated, there's an enforcement mechanism through the state. It no longer, the village is not involved in that enforcement process. It's a Department of Labor enforcement process that would handle any violation of any contractor who works for us that's required to pay prevailing wage.
Attorney Druza, can I just add one thing? All of our bid documentation that the village does for our bidding process states very clearly that any contractor who submits a bid does have to pay prevailing wage at the Cook County prevailing wage rate. So that's clear in our bid documentations for all bidders that submit a contract for a village project.
Correct. And, there's also the possibility that he missed a calculation on his bid and will end up not doing as well as he thought because he's so much lower than the other bidders.
I'll just leave with one more comment. when it comes to Department of Labor violations, I'm sorry, my fault. Thank you. When it comes to the Department of Labor violations, I will say they're so very understaffed that when violations come up, it's a little bit like speeding tickets in that, you know, any one of us, I mean, not that this is definitely not a court of law and I'm not admitting to anything, fine law enforcement here. You can speed all day long, every day for weeks on end without ever getting popped, right? And an example of a company like this getting popped, in my experience, is somewhat an outlier. It's proving in a way that this is just the way that they do business all of the time. And it's very, very likely that they will do it again, or repeat offend, until, you know, eventually they get enough strikes to where they will be officially given enough strikes where they'll be not allowed to bid any more projects anywhere by the state. But thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, and thanks for taking the time to bring this to our attention. Thank you. Yes, please.
Hello, my name is Sheila Ryden, 910 Linden Court, proud resident of Ridgewood for 37 years. Second house. You just can't leave Ridgewood. It's just too great. Thank you to all of you and the past trustees who have worked so hard to make Ridgewood and Western Springs such a great community. We really especially appreciate your efforts on helping us with our flooding issues. So thank you very much. I'm a runner. I've been a runner for 45 years. 37 of them in Western Springs. I've traveled, my feet have taken me a lot of different places. Western Springs, LaGrange, Hinsdale. And I've noticed that the road conditions, street conditions in Ridgewood are deplorable. They're not on par with other communities. Bill, I think you live there. I think you know this as well. We've corresponded about it. And it's deplorable. It's getting worse. It's not safe. And it's far worse than any other neighborhood that I've ever traveled down. And I just really would appreciate your consideration. Our sidewalks our streets are our sidewalks, I should say. It's really hard to navigate the pavement with these they're trying to patch with small patches that are very bumpy. They've not been smoothed out. So you're trying to navigate the crummy holes and the bumpy patches. Some of those nice, smooth, long patches are very nice. They're a great stopgap measure until the streets can actually be repaired. So kudos to them on that. But the small patching is just not working. I'd like to warmly invite you all to walk Ridgewood with me, or run or bike. We can do whatever you wish. I think riding in a car just doesn't give you the same experience. But picture yourself as you do that and with your grandchildren or your children. Not safe at all. I have the scars to prove it. So I respectfully ask you to kind of think about Ridgewood and maybe push us up to the top of the list, because I don't think that we are on par with other neighborhoods in Western Springs. And I appreciate your consideration. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your comments. It is part of our overall infrastructure needs that we have right
Notice
now.
that. I just want to make sure that we keep that on attention.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a good offer. Thank you. All right. Anybody else? Okay. All right. Very good. Any old business? Nope. New business. Okay. If not, we will move on to our omnibus vote. The Illinois state statutes allow a municipality to collectively vote on a group of ordinances, resolutions, and other motions such as awards of contract, appointments, etc. This is known as an omnibus vote. All the items contained on the omnibus vote list have been previously discussed by the President and Board of Trustees on at least one occasion and often on several occasions. By placing them on the omnibus vote list, a single vote may be taken to approve them. A trustee may remove any item from the list and have it discussed and voted on separately prior to the omnibus vote. Is there any such request this evening? Everyone to my left? No. All right. Very good. Trustee Terrell.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that the following ordinances, resolutions, and motions as contained in the meeting agenda for May 20, 2024 be adopted and or approved under an omnibus vote. Agenda item number 1, approval of the meeting minutes of April 8th, 2024, April 22nd, 2024, and May 6th, 2024 as read. Agenda item number 2, ordinance number 24-3192, approving an amendment to conditional use permit for the construction, operation, and maintenance of a building addition, a loading dock, underground stormwater management facilities, and accessory hardscape modifications to be completed as part of a cafeteria and educational facilities expansion and building renovation project at the 4900 Willow Springs Road property, Lyons Township South Campus. Agenda item number 3, ordinance number 24-3193, authorizing the disposal of surplus personal property owned by the Village of Western Springs, public works vehicles. 1 1999 Oshkosh heavy-duty dump truck and 1 2008 Ford F-350 heavy-duty pickup truck. Agenda item number 4, resolution number 24-2803, authorizing the approval and execution of a professional services agreement for the performance of geographic information systems services between the Village of Western Springs and Cloud Point Geographics. Contract term is 36 months. Agenda item number 5, resolution number 24-2804, waiving the competitive bid process and authorizing the approval and execution of a contract with Clearspan Structures / Fabric Structures of Glastonbury, Connecticut, for the purchase and construction of a weather protection system for the Public Works material storage bins and the reconstruction of the Public Works salt dome, and authorizing the expenditure of village funds in an amount of $151,082.74 to pay for the project. Resolution number 24-2805, authorizing the approval and execution of a resolution for improvement under the Illinois Highway Code, that's IDOT BLR 09110, for roadway street improvements, the Hampton Avenue Improvement Project from US Route 34, Ogden Avenue, to Hillgrove Avenue, construction and engineering costs for the project. Resolution number 24-2806, authorizing the approval and execution of the local public agency agreement for federal participation, that's IDOT Surface Transportation Program, to be entered into between the Village of Western Springs and the Illinois Department of Transportation for the Hampton Avenue Improvements Project, and authorizing the expenditure of village funds to pay for the village matching funds contribution for the project. Resolution number agenda item number 8, resolution number 24-2807, approving and authorizing the execution of a professional services agreement between the Village of Western Springs and V3 companies for the performance of Phase 2 design engineering services for the Hampton Avenue project. Agenda item number 9, resolution number 24-2808, accepting project base bid and authorizing the approval and execution of the local public agency formal contract for 2024 sidewalk replacement to be entered into with Nardili Construction Company, Chicago, Illinois, and authorizing the expenditure of motor fuel tax funds to pay for the project in the amount not to exceed $110,000. Agenda item number 10, resolution number 24-2809, accepting project base bid and authorizing the approval and execution of the local public agency formal contract for 2024 flooring replacement to be entered into with the Sitter Flooring of LaGrange, Illinois, and authorizing the expenditure of village funds to pay for the project in the amount of $18,500. Agenda item number 11, motion to waive the competitive bidding process in lieu of solicitation of competitive proposals by village staff relative to the purchase and installation of replacement water production meters.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, any other comments or discussion? Okay, if not, may we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Madam President. Trustee Avakian is absent. Trustee Chen is absent. Trustee Fink.
Aye.
Trustee Lewis.
Aye.
Trustee Naraki.
Aye.
Trustee Tyrrell.
Aye.
And President Rudolph.
Aye.
The motions, resolutions, and ordinances on the agenda for May 20th, 2024 are approved.
Thank you very much. All right, moving on to the reports. I think for the monthly financial report, Trustee Lewis, you're going to provide that this evening.
I am. Thank you, President Rudolph. A few items to highlight from the April report. that was sent to all of us over the weekend for our review. And as to investment activity in April, the Illinois Metropolitan Investment Fund's average daily yield was 5.01%. The Police Pension Fund posted realized and unrealized gains of 2.24%, and maintained a trailing 12-month return of 13.38% at the end of March. The market value of the police pension portfolio increased to approximately $18.985 million, with an additional $975,498 in cash. Investment opportunities for the operating funds have remained strong this year as the Federal Reserve rates remain high. The target range of somewhere between 5.25 and 5.5% as of March. We had been anticipating some rate cuts from the Federal Reserve this year, but they seem less confident as far as things moving toward 2%, so we may not have 3, we may have 2 or possibly none. So the investment opportunities remain pretty strong. Some other items of note under our fund activity, the general fund, one of our biggest funds. The general fund maintained a surplus at the end of April, mainly due to the collection of motor vehicle license fees and other taxes. And the county has distributed about half of the first installment of the 2023 levy, and sales tax collections and the local government distributive fund distributions are in line with what we budgeted. So that is all pretty good news. Staff continues to monitor the state of Illinois' budget proposal for the year, which includes an elimination of the 1% sales tax on groceries, and that 1% is what goes directly to local jurisdictions. So we're very interested in how that ends up. The state's legislature is set to adjourn here in the next few weeks, and we should have a better idea about the budget. So we'll know what's going on before too long, you would think. If it does pass, it takes effect in July 1 of this year. And that concludes my report. If there aren't any questions, I will move that the April 2024 financial report be adopted as presented, or accepted as presented.
I'll second that.
All right. Very good. May we have a roll call vote?
Yes, Madam President. Trustee Avakian is absent. Trustee Chen is absent. Trustee Fink?
Aye.
Trustee Lewis?
Aye.
Trustee Naraki?
Aye.
And Trustee Tiro?
Aye.
The April 2024 financial report as presented is approved.
Thank you very much. Just a quick note from me as a report. Just in speaking of the state budget, we have many of our suburban mayors and presidents who are continuing to work with and try to work with the General Assembly to try to get some of our LGDF, I can say that right, local government distributive funds increased. As we know, we continue to confront kind of unfunded mandates as well as the grocery tax, while also having the LGDF lower than it was. And so today over 50 mayors and presidents gathered for a press conference kind of stating everyone's position. So we're really trying our best to see if we can get any additional relief from the state on that. And that will conclude my report. Manager Bear?
I have a couple of items. I have a few items. I wanted to mention that the police department is stepping up enforcement for the holiday weekend this weekend, reminding distracted drivers, those who are not using their seatbelts, and drunk drivers that they cannot drive through Western Springs that way. So they will be out all the way through to Tuesday morning with the additional enforcement. So pleased to have that. This weekend is also the Tower Trot here in Western Springs. It's a long-standing tradition, and I believe there are still spots available. So if people want to run, please go ahead and register and come out with your families. It should be a very nice event this year. We're looking forward to that. This Yeah, this Wednesday. We will be back with the French Market, and on Wednesday at 4:30 till 5:30, Maddox Music will be out, with a bunch of the kids singing, and it should be a really nice way to kick off the evening. All are welcome to come out. We've had a lot of interest from newer vendors this year. Last week we had a French bakery that came, and there were lines all up and down the street trying to get in and get the goods from that bakery. We hope they will be back soon. And then, let's see, I have a reminder that outdoor watering restrictions begin Memorial Day weekend. So Memorial Day through Labor Day, we will be observing the watering restrictions between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. We're asking that people do not water outdoors during those hours. And we have put together a lot of good information to put out for those who haven't heard the news yet. So we'll be pushing that on social media, and of course it's on our website. For more information, the website is the best place to go. And lastly, I just want to mention that we are hosting a Seniors Safe from Scams event through our senior center in the recreation department. The event will be held here in the village boardroom because we expect a large group to come out. It's Wednesday, May 22nd, 1 to 3 p.m. We have quite a few presenters. We have Police Detective Kenny Laffin. We have our Director of Technology, Pat Schramm, the Director of Law Enforcement, Chief Sean Gilhooly, as well as a couple of other speakers from other organizations that will help us identify scams that seniors have been approached with, and really give good resources to the seniors in our community. But all are welcome. They don't have to be Western Springs residents to attend, and we hope that they get a lot out of it. That's all I have.
Great, thank you. Thanks very much. And Attorney Jerusik?
No report tonight.
All right, very good. Well, with that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Yes, I'd have a motion to adjourn tonight's regular meeting of the Board of Trustees.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, very good. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Sure, so.
No, that's okay.